Hi guys, welcome back to Raise the Tarot and welcome if you are new. My name is Stella and in today's pick a card actually, because this is the first time that I have a layout like this in the intro, which is not like a pick a pile, but an actual pick a card. So I've got a bunch of new decks, which I'm so excited about. This is the Rose Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And I also got this one in today, and I was really excited. I already connected with it. I love it so freaking much. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use this deck for like 3 different piles, and I'm just gonna use that one. So I took the opportunity to do something a little bit different. So yeah, we have 3 cards that you actually have to choose from, or like have to. You don't have to, but if you are here, I figured that that's what you're kind of intending to do. We also have crystals as per usual. I did cover the card name and like the keywords that come with it. So because I want you guys to choose with your intuition and with your third eye and not with your brain or with your physical eyes. I mean, you can use your physical eyes obviously, but my point is you can choose between these 3 different cards, and I will of course like reveal them at the beginning of each pile or each group in this case. And what we're going to do essentially today is we are going to ask the question what your person needs you to know on a soul level, on a heart level. So first, for each pile or each group, we will look into some pre-shuffled oracles as well as tarot cards, basically as an energy check so that you can know whether that group, that reading is for you. So the first section will just be, as per usual, a little bit of an energy check to see if you can find your energy, or yeah, the energy of the connection, so your and your person's connection's energy. And if you have found your own pile, we can move on to the second section of each reading, which will be again some new pre-shuffled oracles as well as another round of tarot cards, and that will give us basically just the messages that your person's higher self wants to give to you. So the things that you need to know at this moment about this connection and about your person. So these are timeless readings, so it doesn't matter when you find this. When you find it, it's the moment that you're supposed to find them. Yeah, so without further ado, oh, and at the end is there ever gonna be a reading where I don't freaking like, where I can just talk normally? Anyways, at the end of each group, we will also take some advice and spirit animals, because I haven't done that in so long and I'm so excited. Anyways, we have 3 groups. The first one is this beautiful card with this little pink, no, it's not pink. It's obviously not pink. This white Afghan jade. Then for group number 2, we have this gorgeous little amethyst heart. And last but not least, for pile 3, we have this, oh my god, what is it? Tourmaline, black tourmaline. Focus. Thank you. And yes, as per usual, feel free to take as much time as you need to sit a little bit with the different crystals and the cards. Feel free to pause the video. Also feel free to check out multiple piles. It's totally normal to recognize yourself in multiple piles and not just one. It's also totally normal if there is no messages for you in every single tarot YouTube reading that there is, because that's slightly impossible. Quite impossible. I can't talk. Oh my god. Yeah, that is it. As per usual, you guys know how much it means to me every time to read your comments and to read how the piles resonate with you. It's just really nice because these are not like face-to-face or personal individual readings, so it's really nice to know how my readings land on the other side of the screen. So every single comment is so welcome and I reply to everything. Yeah, thank you so much for being here and I will see you in your pile. Hi Paiwan, if you chose this beautiful white Afghan jade crystal as well as this beautiful card right here, I'm going to reveal what this card actually says. I'm going to show you up close. Hopefully you can, yeah, there you go. This card is the Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. And I'm actually going to lay out immediately your pre-shuffled oracles. What we're going to do, in case you guys didn't watch the intro, which you might just want to do real quick, but this is all about what your person needs you to know on a soul level, and we're going to do this on a like in two different sections. So the first one is just an energy check, so that you know whether this is your reading. You should be able to find yourself and your person's energy within this first section of the reading, which is indeed just all about your connection. So it's not like about two people. But it's just like the energy of the connection itself. And then afterwards, we are going to look a little bit more in depth with some more oracles and the tarot. And actually, what does your person's higher self, what does your person's soul truly want your soul and your higher self, and your human self, obviously, what you need to know and what it is that they really want to tell you and let you know on a soul level. So, oh my God, why do I feel like this? Heavy chest energy. Okay. Wow. Damn. So for your... okay. So for your energy check, what is currently going on in your connection? So your connection's energy, we have, first of all, this card. I will keep this card out, by the way, in both parts because it feels relevant. We have the number 5. Then we have Luna with Moon, number 2. We have Reaction. I'm going to put this on this side. And we also have Ready But Waiting. Then we have Virgo, I Analyze, with number 18 or 9. And then last but not least, we have Surrender. I'm going to put it like that. Is this in frame? Yeah, nice. Oh, I just saw 222 on the camera while I was checking. Okay, I'm going to pull the tarot right away. What is currently going on? You guys are my first YouTube reading that I do with this deck, so yeah. Let's see. Oh, I love this deck so much. I'm so excited to use it throughout this entire video. Okay. Why is shuffling always such a... This deck is big. It's thick. She thick. All the names of the decks that I always use are always down below in the description box. So you guys can find them if you guys are interested. So what is currently going on within this connection for group 1? I want to say pile 1, but there's no pile this time. I mean, there's pre-shuffled oracles, but you guys didn't choose from those, so. Oh, come on. There you go. Okay, so what is currently going on in group 1's connection with the person that they're inquiring about, please? What is currently... Okay, we have the 2 of Cups. What is currently going on in this connection, please? We have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Cups, we have the Devil, and we have the Lovers. Dang. Okay, so wow. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. I want to put it this way because the light is coming from here. Wow. Oh my God, where do I even start? So You guys might be experiencing, how do I put this into words? Okay, I literally might need like a minute here to find the words of what I'm feeling right now, because it's very specific and very un-Englishable, but that's what I'm here to do. It's to read energies and to translate them into human words. So oh my god. Whew, okay. And we are rolling again, I think. Are we rolling? Yes, we are. So my camera stopped filming. I made no cuts, so I literally was like saying I can't English this thing that I'm feeling right now, and then I actually started talking for what felt like about probably like 5 minutes, and it didn't record. So there's definitely, we do have the Thorn card about clear communication, and we have Virgo energy and surrender. There's a lot pointing to communication issues. There might be, what I was saying before I got cut off, is that you guys, oh, there's, okay, oh my god. I need to collect my thoughts because there's so much going on. I have a very clear picture of what I want to say, but it's just, it's a lot. Okay, you guys have this very profound, deep, stable love for each other, and you guys are not doubting, and you've never doubted each other's love. Like, you know that your person loves you, and your person knows that you love them. Like, there's no doubt about that. And people outside of your life, like, they know that you guys belong together. It's very likely that you guys have been together for a long time, in one way or another. Doesn't have to be strictly in a relationship, but you guys have been very close, and it's very clear also from the outside that you guys are kind of meant to be together in one way or another. You definitely have this like soulmate-y vibe to your connection, in which you both are so solid within your love heart energy towards, like, for each other. And people on the outside also notice, like, they just know that pile one and their person, they just belong together. They're together. They're just like, it's just like, it's not even up for debate that you guys have a beautiful, special connection. You guys definitely, if that applies to you, might also be in the type of situation in which you're like planning for the future. Like, you have been telling each other, like, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, you're my person and you're my soulmate, and we just know this about each other. With this Ten of Cups, there might potentially also have been talk about like getting a family, or like setting up a family together. Will not resonate with everyone, of course. But there's definitely this you guys might have a house together, or like have lived together, or live together at some point. Things like that. There's this very solid sense of belonging between the two of you that is just like undeniable and not up for debate. Like, that's just set in stone. It's like you guys are choosing each other every single day, no matter what, which is a very powerful and beautiful energy in itself. But there's this crushing discrepancy between how you feel and the connection that you share on a soul/heart level, and how your connection is actually showing up in the 3D. Like, you guys might understand each other better without words, and just like on an emotional, sentimental soul level than with words. Because there's this, I kept getting the word crashing or crushing. There's this crushing discrepancy between how you guys feel on the inside and how your connection is actually showing up, like in the private sphere between the two of you. I feel like there's a lot of arguing going on. There's a lot of fighting in that sense. It feels like there's a lot of miscommunication, small little instances that just escalate and just snowball and get real ugly real quick. Just a lot of not understanding each other, just this struggle to communicate with each other. And this might also literally be because both of you, or one of you, potentially, very likely both of you in different ways, you guys both might struggle with expressing your feelings and expressing what it is that you mean when you say something, if that makes sense. There's definitely this frustration between the two of you that kind of makes it it's like you guys know that you have this connection, but it's so hard to keep this connection smooth and peaceful. With it, number 5 is all about disruption and chaos and change and sudden, like, tower moment type of vibes. And then we have this reaction card, which really tells me that you guys might have had a lot of I mean, we all have at all times in different degrees and different extents. There's a lot of unhealed wounds that you guys have not resolved yet, and that you're being invited over and over and over again to sort of like smack your head against and to kind of open up to resolve those things. But for some reason, you guys get stuck in a loop, and it's kind of like always the same story. I'm hearing like it's always the same story. It's always the same story. I feel like you both might kind of put the blame on each other, like on the other person, of like, oh, you're not expressive, or like, oh, you're not this, or like, you do this and you don't do this. And there's a strong need to take responsibility for your own emotions and your own reactivity and your own triggers and traumas. You guys might have been very young when you guys got together. You might have been like inexperienced, perhaps, in a way. It doesn't have to resonate for everyone. But there's definitely this feeling of like, oh, I'm here and I'm here for you, but it's you. And we're rolling again. Okay, holy crackers, you guys. When I say that I love reading tarot so much, it's because of things like this. Of course, I was talking again and it didn't record what I was saying, and I don't love that, but it's literally so applicable and so on brand for this pile. Because first of all, we have the number 5 here, and we have this energy of disruption and chaos and just inability to communicate with each other. I don't know if I even said it in the part that was captured on screen, but the video literally stopped filming at 5 minutes and 55 seconds, and I'm like, bruh, what the hell? Anyways, I was saying, when it stopped recording and when it cut me off when I was talking, there's this energy of kind of blaming the other person. And there's this strong need to like take ownership of your own feelings, of your own needs, and of your own triggers, and of your own emotions, and of your own reactions. There's definitely this feeling of we can't seem to communicate, we can't seem to understand each other. And I don't think I captured it, like I think it cut me off already when I was saying the next things, but there's this feeling of you might spend a lot of time in silence together, in the sense that even if you live in the same house, or like if you don't live together, you might just like spend days not talking to each other. But if you do kind of live together or see each other often, you might just spend a lot of time kind of turned away from each other. And just not talking to each other for the fear of like, you guys want to like avoid triggering yet another fight, yet another discussion, yet another misunderstanding. And there's this feeling of like, you just don't get me, you just don't get me, you just don't understand what I mean. I hope I said everything, and I hope I didn't like, okay, if editing, I see that I missed some things, I will just type it on the screen, because honestly right now I just feel the need to keep going. There's also this sense, okay, maybe, I mean, it's really chaotic what I'm doing right now. It's very on brand, again, for this pile. I'm gonna check like every few seconds that we're still rolling, and we are, fortunately. There's this feeling of, you guys are both kind of turned inwards and not really towards each other. And you guys really feel the strong need to take care of yourselves. Like, you watching this feel the need to take care of yourself because you don't feel taken care of by your person, and the person has the same exact thing. So in this process, it's really good to decide and be aware of the fact that you need to take care of yourself, like your own emotional well-being, your physical well-being, your just your own, just to be aware and conscious, and just consciously go on about self-care in all ways possible. But in this very process, you're kind of taking it both to the extremes, in which you literally don't take care of each other, and you're kind of one man against the other. And of course, sometimes you might still share those beautiful moments in which you're like, yes, I know that I love you. And you might have these promises of like, we will get through it. But then again, the day after, it's just like the same thing again. It's really chaotic. Honestly, like the video got cut off twice, and I honestly don't know what it is that I have to repeat. In case I didn't say, the zodiac signs that appear are Virgo, Capricorn. We have a lot of water and earth here, so earth are Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo again. We have Gemini energy with the lovers. We have the Empress with Venus energy, which is Libra and Taurus. We also have the moon, which is Cancer energy. There's really this need for the both of you to surrender. Okay, literally what is going on? There's no actual reason for my phone to stop filming so often. Interesting fun fact. The last video, like this, the third take that I did was, I started filming that at 222. Numbers that you might be seeing are 222, 333, 555 for for freaking sure. If you've been seeing angel numbers, it's very likely those not ones. Obviously it doesn't have to be, but yeah, wouldn't be very surprising if you were like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing, because this is literally just like your energy right now when it comes to this connection. Plus it's Mercury retrograde right now, so technology issues and stuff, I really hope you just cooperate right now, because I don't feel like having more chaos. I mean, that's the energy that we're in. So I feel like I've said everything, because I did rewatch just now before starting filming again. I did rewatch what I said, and I feel like I did kind of encompass what I wanted to say. And I got cut off last time with this surrender card. You both have to sort of surrender this feeling or this need to kind of have the other person change something, because it is really like you guys are expecting the other person to change. And yes, you are working individually on yourselves, but there's also this degree of like, I need you to change. I want you to change, because you keep reacting to the other person like, oh, why can't you see this? Why can't you understand? And why do you keep doing this? There's a lot of like focus inwards and like blaming the outwards in a sense, without really being working together. It's like you guys have forgot how to consciously be loving towards each other. It's like you forgot how to be soft with each other. There's this strong need, this thorn card. It's all about setting loving boundaries and lovingly communicating your needs and taking ownership of your needs. It's like, listen, this is what I want, and making it about you in a very empowering way, and not necessarily in a, oh, this is what I want and you're not giving it to me, and it's frustrating. It's not like, it doesn't have to be a fight. Like I feel like we often have this association with boundaries and kind of this Martian, super straightforward and super like almost harsh kind of energy. Like this is what I am, and this is what I want, and this is what I need, and if you can't give it to me, then you can F off. Like that's not necessarily how you set your boundaries. Like boundaries, if you are frustrated, if there is some type of dissettlement with you and setting boundaries, it's very likely that you yourself have not owned up fully to it. If you can respect your own boundaries, there's no reason to be harsh about it, or to be unsettled about it, or to be mad about other people for not respecting your boundaries, because boundaries are not for other people. Your boundaries are for you. Say this again, I said this before, other people have said this before me, it's not my quote, but saying things like, please don't talk to me like that, or please don't do this, is not a boundary. That's a request. You're asking someone, and you're therefore giving them the power to decide, or like you're giving them, basically you're just putting the power in their hands, like please don't do this because it hurts me. And it's still very fair. It's a very fair thing to do. But it's very different from a boundary. A boundary is, I simply don't like it to be talked in this way. I simply don't like it when this happens. Peace. That's it. That's a boundary. I'm kind of anxiously checking the timer now, as if we're still rolling, because, you know. Yes, within this immense chaos that I feel like just happened, I don't know if you guys can feel it too. I mean, if this resonates with you, then you probably just recognize this, and congrats if you found yourself here. I mean, not congrats, because it's not great. I can understand how hard it is. It's very, very freaking frustrating. It's just like there's this feeling of like there's no resolve. That that's it. One of the things that got cut off, that literally got cut off when I was like saying them and it didn't get caught on camera, is this feeling of looping. You're constantly looping. You're like maybe getting together and just being very loving and sharing this beautiful love that you have, like perhaps just like with physical affection and things like that, just very being very close and very intimate in certain ways, and just really putting in the intention. Like you have such good intentions with each other, but when it comes to like making those intentions come to fruition, practically speaking, physically speaking, with communication, it's like you guys forgot and you just kind of like go in fight or flight mode, and just kind of this trigger gets activated super easily. It's like you guys trigger each other so easily, and it's so hard for you to stay grounded. And to consciously, like, it's really a time for you guys to respond and not react, and be very, very conscious of how you react to each other. And those reactions are not necessarily, of course someone can trigger you, and that's very real. People can trigger you. But how you work with those triggers, how consciously you work with those triggers within yourself, and also how you manifest that inner work, that's really up to you. There's no one, like, it really, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what other people say to you. It's well, okay, that's not entirely true. Of course, there's horrible stuff that people say to you that shouldn't be happening. But what I mean to say is, like, you decide what you do with those things. You decide if you want to put up with it or not. And there's a part of you subconsciously that still decides to take this energy. It's like, yes, this is okay. And of course, you can rationalize it and say, like, it's because I love this person. It's because I believe in the potential of that, because I know what we're capable of, and I know that we just have to work through it. Yes, but it's looping. It doesn't feel like there has been a lot of progress, and it feels like it's just peaking without any resolve. So this is definitely the energy that I'm getting for you guys for now. Yes, we are still on. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side, and we're going to take now your other oracles, which is all about what your person wants you to know on a soul level. Oh, I actually wanted to keep this card out because this was important. Yes. So take this as your person's soul, or like your person's heart, or your person's higher self talking to you. But what they essentially want you to know and need you to know truly from their deepest, most core self. We have the card number 4 with ideal romance. We have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. We have card number 27 or 9 with joy. I'm going to put that here. Then we have authority, number 10. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And last but not least, we have union of love, embrace the beloved within your heart. Yeah, this is kind of this. Oh, I love this so much. This is so... I feel like you both might have a clear idea of what you want this relationship to be like and what you kind of have to do, but it's so hard to put it into practice. That's why you guys have a very, very strong soul connection. Like, you guys are so closely bonded with each other. And I don't even necessarily mean that you guys are like strictly karmically bonded or like trauma bonded in that sense. It doesn't feel like that only. There's definitely a very, very big degree of like karmic cycles being triggered between the two of you, for sure. And please don't pay too much attention to like labels like soulmate and karmic and whatever, because it's just concepts. But yeah, let's see what else. What is it that your person's higher self, your person's soul, your person's heart wants you to know, needs you to know at this time? Messages from your person's truest self. What is it that Pile One's person needs them to know? Needs Pile One to know at this time from their most core self. You have to take these both. Yeah, okay. So we have the Ace of Wands and the Emperor. Okay, interesting, because we have the Empress. showing up earlier in the back of the deck. What else does this person's higher self need? Pile 1 to know. We have the Six of Swords. I'm just going to take the top one. Oh, and we also have the Ace of Cups. What else? One more card, please. And we have the Three of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress showing up again. Okay. And the Tower is also kind of peeking through. So what your person's... It feels like it's your person's heart. Just like truly your person's true core self. That if you take all of the layers of traumas and triggers and resentment and blaming and faulting and this person knows that they are love at their core, and they feel so freaking passionate about you and about this concept of love, and they want nothing more than to be in this state of love with you. They know, they are very aware that what it is that you guys have is just... I think I heard it, like this quote that Alan Watts said that conveyed it so well. It was something along the lines of, I know that I am love, and when I say that I'm in love with you, it means that through you, I access the part of me that is love in a way that nobody else does with me, for me. And this person, you guys are very likely to spiritually aware people to different degrees. This definitely feels like very high spiritual energy. This person definitely, it wouldn't surprise me if this person had Capricorn energy, Capricorn or Taurus, Capricorn and or Taurus, because there's a lot of stubborn, very stubborn energy. This person really wants to kind of start over again, just find that beautiful innocence. There's a lot of like all the aces. It's interesting that we don't have the Ace of Swords coming up, which is all about communication and the intellect and the mind and like sharpening the mind. We have the Ace of Cups, which is all about emotion and intuition and the soul and sensuality. And then we have the Wands, the Ace of Wands, which is all about passion and this fiery, passionate connection and this forward-moving energy. And then we have the Pentacles, which is all about like grounding energy, like manifesting things into reality. And the Fool, which is again also all about like taking a leap of faith. Like this person would choose you again and again and again and again. This person really wants to show up with you. This person really wants to move on to so-called safer waters with you. But there's just so much pain that is blocking the both of you, and there's so much pain that you kind of need to heal. And this is not the reading about that, but there is definitely... And I feel like you both are, since this is coming up, but there's no more information that I'm being fed right now about this hurt that you guys are both harboring. It's very likely that you guys are not paying enough attention to the core wounds. Let me see, are we still filming? Yes, we are! Nice! Sorry. This person really wants it to work. This person really wants it to work, and they know that you guys can together reach that point of like inner authority and inner security, and just like meet each other in the middle and meet each other where you guys are love. And with this ideal romance card coming out, there's a lot about, we need to stop. I feel like this is a subconscious thing. Like I don't think this person, because this feels like more like your person's higher self with this card specifically, with this concept of ideal romance. It's like you guys have expectations of how the other person should be. Like, oh, if you love me, you would be this, and if you love me, you would say this, and if you love me, you would do this and this and that. If this was a good relationship, we would do this and this and that. We would have this and this and that, but we don't have it. There's like this focus on, oh, look at where we're not, and look at how many things are going wrong, and look at how many things you're doing wrong. It's like you guys lost perspective and lost the vision of what it is that brings you joy in practical reality. Because of course, in the back of the mind and in the back of your heart, it's always there. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be together. If this was all pain and all darkness, you would literally just like not want this. You keep wanting this, and there's a reason why you keep wanting this, and it's because you guys know that somewhere there is this joy and this pure love. This pure, genuine love between the two of you. But there's honestly a lot of work that you guys have to do within yourselves about the other person. This authority, like the frequency of authority, reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed and realized, yet receptive, wise and loving. Union of love. Embrace the beloved within your heart. Like you really have to, I just heard like learn to love you. I have to learn to love you better. It's like you expect the other person to learn to love you better, but you don't necessarily, it's like wanting a perfect partner, but you kind of forget in the meanwhile how to become the perfect partner. First of all, there's no such thing as perfect because that's subjective. First of all, we're all different. We are all going to have at some point some discrepancies and some differences and clashing things, because if we were literally the same, we would literally be the same person in the same body. The fact that we exist in different bodies just means that we're just different versions of each other. That's what humans are. We're just all different manifestations. Humans and non-human things too. Like a tree is just a different version of yourself, because you yourself are the universe. The universe getting manifested in your form, and then there's this plant, and it's just, we're just all different versions of each other. So that's why we're literally all inherently different from each other. Sure, we are very similar to each other, like especially with these kinds of connection, like we recognize so much of one another within, of each other within one another. But again, it's impossible to find two of the literal same people, because then you wouldn't have the need of having two different beings. Because if you would literally be the same person, you would literally be the same, you would literally occupy the same human body on Earth. I digress. There's this need for the both of you to, you guys both want change, but you kind of are expecting and pushing it and wanting it to come from the outside and from the other person. Like you want the other person to show up for you. And you might also use the kind of excuse of like, oh, you're not being open to me, so I don't trust you to open up myself. Well, that is, I mean, that is a very fair thing. It's a very fair attitude, but at the same time, you don't need anyone else's approval or permission to be yourself. Like you can be fully, authentically, wholly, undeniably, unapologetically yourself and completely open regardless of what the other person does. You can be completely loving regardless of the other what the other person does. And of course it's easier said than done. It's not easy at all, especially in these type of situations. Are we still? Yes. This person just wants to be in love with you. Like they know. There's a lot of work that you guys both have to do, because this feels like the potential that is sort of like floating in hyper-Uranum. What is it? Plato's hyper-Uranum? I don't know. It's called iperuranio in Italian. I'm not entirely sure what it's called in English, but that's what the image that I just got is like this potential. We have like the aces are all about untapped potential. Like they're the seed for these energies, for like material satisfaction, physical material manifestation of things and of love. And then we have the potential for this beautiful pure love and emotional satisfaction, and the potential for passion and for inspiration and just having fun and this joy and this fiery energy. There's so much potential that this person is definitely seeing, and you're seeing it too, truthfully. But you guys are in practical terms with each other nowhere near the potential that you know that you both have. And that's because you guys have some type of pain within yourselves that you're kind of not looking into enough, if that makes sense. Because it's clear that you both have still a lot of like patterns and reactive patterns and triggers that keep being triggered without being resolved. And something definitely needs to change, but you're kind of expecting the change to come from outside rather than changing how you act first and foremost towards your partner, and how you treat yourself, how you allow yourself to be treated, and how you treat your partner too. Yeah, Nine of Cups, satisfaction. I feel like that's what I'm getting for your reading, and I want to take some advice cards. This is the, oh my god, what is it? I don't remember what this deck is called. Sorry, it's down below in the description box for when you guys want to find it. Something about the Moon Witch Moon goddess, something like that. What is the advice for pile 1, please? I'm just gonna call you pile 1. Okay. So oh yeah. Kali, step into the unknown. Do not be afraid. For some reason, when I was pulling cards for this entire reading, I had such strong Kali vibes, and she came out right now just like super quickly. I haven't done the other piles yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if you guys watching this, like if anyone watching any pile would strongly resonate also with the other piles that I'm doing in this reading specifically. Because as I always say, readings can never encompass the entire full picture of anything, any person, any connection, any situation. It will always zoom in on a specific aspect of a person, situation, or relationship. So always be aware of that. Kali is the goddess of destroying everything that is not serving. She's the goddess of bringing in the tower moments to sweep off everything that is just not good enough for you, truthfully, so that you can make space for new things. She's the goddess of death and rebirth, of more of the death, or like she takes care of the death before the rebirth, essentially. Yeah, let's see what else. And there's definitely need for change, need of letting go. I just heard like let go. Maybe ask your guides or like meditate on what it is that you truly need to let go of. Which, I mean, letting go of things is so hard. So nobody's telling you like, oh, you should just let go of this thing. No. And it doesn't also necessarily mean that you have to let go of this person. It could literally be like letting go of a part of yourself, like of an aspect of something, like of an attachment within yourself that is kind of like not serving you and kind of putting you in this lower type of energy. Manifestation, what you seek is seeking you. This is literally one of my freaking favorite concepts in the world. Oh my god. You and this person want the same exact thing. And still there's this lack of understanding about how you cannot seem to create that thing for each other. And there's very clearly, or like with each other, and there's very clearly a blockage within the both of you that manifests within this connection that is blocking you guys from truly uniting in the physical realm as you truly know that you could. What more advice do we have for pile 1, please? Okay, I guess those two wanted to come out, and then after this we're going to take spirit animals. We have number 13, Divine Feminine, step into your power. There's a lot about like leadership and stepping into your power. We have the Emperor here, also an authority and Capricorn energy. And we also have the goddess Isis, cast spells, protect, heal. Definitely protect. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. I was listening back to one of the songs that I posted on my personal Instagram, and for some reason I had like a very Southern American accent. I was like rotting. Anyways, I don't know why I'm saying this because who cares. So it wouldn't surprise me if you guys are into witchcraft or like elemental magic and things like that, and actually spelling, like casting spells. Be intentional, Scorpio. So that might be a little synchronicity for you, Scorpio energy. Yeah, there's definitely a lot about working with your intentions so that you can bring them actually into fruition, into the physical realm. Because, you know, intentions are meant to guide your energy in a specific direction, which would hopefully at the end manifest into the physical realm. Let's take some spirit animals for you guys. Yo, it's still recording. Nice. I'm happy about that. Okay. What spirit animals? Oh, okay. Didn't even ask the question, but I guess it's not needed. So we have the sea turtle with protection. You are a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold. Persevere, and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. And we also have the horse with freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. Yeah, there's definitely this thing about letting things happen as they need to. and accepting change where it's needed, and maybe creating change. Looking how you can the best create change, like a positive change that is serving you within the situation. And we also have the dog with friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I'm a protector and a friend. This protection word came out twice, and the dog is, you know, it's the emblem of faithfulness and loyalty. I feel like this last message is really saying, like, how well are you loving your partner? How well can you put aside your own ego? And this is not to say your needs and your wishes and your wants and your own emotional well-being. How can you set aside your ego, which is very different? How can you set aside your ego attachments in order to best show up for your partner in the way that you know that they deserve to be loved and that they want to be loved? How are you protecting your own partner's well-being? What are you doing to show up for them? I also heard this quote. I think it was either a reel. I think it was an Instagram reel. And there was this person who said something like, I am very... Hi Pile 2, if you chose the beautiful Amethyst card as well as this gorgeous card right here, this is going to be a reading all about what your person needs you to know, wants you to know from a soul level, higher perspective, heart level type of thing. So you guys chose this card, and I'm going to reveal the title, the name of this card in a second. What we're going to do essentially is, as per usual, we're going to do this in 2 parts plus advice at the end. The first part is going to be essentially just like an energy check, in which we're going to read first these pre-shuffled oracles as well as some tarot cards for you, so it should be easier for you to find your own energy as well as that of your person's. I mean, this is not a person A, person B type of format. This is just the energy of the connection, so it should be not confusing because there's no different people. There's just the energy of the connection itself in this reading. And then afterwards we are going to look into the actual deeper messages that your person's soul, your person's heart, your person at their core truly want you to know about this connection, about you guys. So what we have here is the card that you chose first and foremost, which is Rapture. Let me see if I can focus that. Yes, there you go. And this card reads sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. So that is you guys' first card. And this one, I've decided that I will keep it throughout the entire reading. So the first section and the second section. But for your connections energy, we further have Cancer. We have conjunction with number 71. We have rest. We have clarity. We have patterns. And last but not least, we have the 11th house with friends, number 35 or 8. Let me see if everything is in frame. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to pull your tarot right away. All decks are always thoroughly pre-shuffled before each pile, so you don't have to worry about any residual energies. If that's something you're concerned about, but I also like to just shuffle right before pulling because that's just nice, I guess. Okay, so what is currently going on in pile 2's connection with the person that they're inquiring about, please? What is currently the energy of this connection? So we have a Judgment. The word open just came through me very strongly, which I will get into in a minute. There's definitely a lot of clarity already. This feels like very clear messages. But what else is... We have the Strength card, Leo energy. And we have the World, fixed energy with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Judgment is Pluto, so Scorpio. What else is going on in this connection at this time, please? So we have 3 major arcana so far. 2 more cards, please. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. And that one wanted to come out. And we have the Chariot. This one came out like that. And you know what? I'm just going to keep it like that because it feels relevant. Let's see. And on the bottom of the deck, you guys, holy fudge. Oh my god. Okay. We have the Death card on the bottom of the deck and the Page of Swords. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I feel like you guys know exactly where you stand with this person. Like there's a lot of possibly clear communication between the two of you, but there's a lot of clear expression from the heart. There's so much beautiful heart energy between the two of you. It's oh my god. I feel it in my throat right now. And this is to say that you guys are probably very expressive. It feels like you guys are very, very expressive about how you feel about each other. And you're not afraid to show how you feel about each other. Let me say, by the way, with this Friends card, oh, by the way, in terms of zodiac signs, well, we did have Scorpio, Leo, some more Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. Then we have Aquarius again with the 11th house, and we have Cancer energy. Cancer energy again with the Chariot, and Death, Scorpio energy again. So those signs probably might be very relevant to you guys. If not all of them, some of them, because they're very strongly coming through. And I must say, right away, ever since like the first card, of course, which is all about sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure, that's clearly Cancerian / Taurus energy, and it's just so beautiful. Oh my god, it's just so sweet, and I feel like you guys might be very touchy-feely with each other. Like you guys, both you guys' love languages might be touch, because there's definitely this sense of like basking in this beautiful sense of physical presence with each other, and you guys just both enjoying each other's presence, both like in the bigger picture, in the sense of like I enjoy having you in my life so much, but also just enjoying each other's presence. Like when you guys are hanging out together, it's just so it feels like so simple and pure, and so sweet. It's just very sweet. And you guys might value each other's heart a lot. Like you might even talk a lot about heart energy. There's a lot about expressing from the heart, and it doesn't have to be necessarily vocally, because indeed like a love language, like there's different love languages and words of affirmation. So speaking words out through your throat and with your voice is just one type of language. But indeed it feels like feeling into each other physically and non-physically is something that is very relevant to you guys' connection. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys were in some type of situationship, if you guys were like calling each other still like friends, if you guys are not in a committed relationship, or if you guys don't call each other in a relationship, because it's definitely, it has a lot of Aquarius energy. So like I've found in the course of my own journey in life that Cancerian and Aquarius type of love, so you guys potentially might have Cancer Venus or Aquarius Venus, doesn't necessarily have to be, or like Venus in the 4th house, or like 4th house placements, 11th house placements, indeed. Doesn't have to be strictly, of course it's not going to apply to everyone, but it's Cancer love and Aquarius love are just two of the most pure and intense and just so beautiful and unconditional types of love that I've ever witnessed or experienced. It's just so freaking beautiful, and they're both in here. Like this is literally, there's so much of that. Because there's a lot of like devotion, but also a lot of breaking the rules, a lot of not sticking within the boundaries of what normal romantic intimate love looks like. There's definitely a vibe of queerness in that sense, and it doesn't have to be necessarily LGBTQ plus queerness. Like, of course, for freaking sure, this could definitely apply to, I mean, of course, it just could apply to anyone, regardless of gender or sexuality. But there's like, even if neither of you guys are queer in any way, shape, or form, there is this queerness to your connection. So there's this type of like, you guys are definitely in a non-conventional type of connection. And if not societally speaking, if like the outer world doesn't have any opinion on you guys' connection, it's definitely something that you personally watching this for sure, but also the other person that you're asking about. It's something that this thing that you have with each other is something that you guys never experienced before. It's a completely different type of love and dedication and affection that you have ever experienced with anyone else. And this is both in terms of giving, of how you give love and how you show love to this person, as well as how you receive it and how open you are to receiving this person's love, and how this person treats you. I feel like this person, like you both have given each other so much sweetness and so much softness to a level that indeed you guys have never experienced with anyone else before. And it's kind of like groundbreaking, kind of almost the word shocking came through. Like you might have been at the beginning when you just started to get intimate or close with each other, you might have just kind of been overwhelmed in a positive way about how incredibly sweet. I just spat. That is embarrassing. Anyways, Jesus Christ. There's definitely this pure, this radical level of softness and sweetness between the two of you that is so new to you guys. There's something about looking each other in the eyes. There's something about gazing. Like you might have experienced a level of looking at this person in the eyes that is very different than indeed than you've had ever before. And I must say, this conjunction card. This is, by the way, I love this deck so much. Anything by Kim Krans is just so freaking amazing. Like, I don't feel like there will ever be anyone, and I say this with all my love, there will never be anyone who makes a more complete and deep deck than Kim Krans does. She has 3 decks, I believe, the Tarot Oracle, the Wild Unknown Tarot, the Archetypes, archetypes, and this one, which is the most recent one. And oh my god, I freaking adore her decks so much. They're amazing. Anyways, what I was saying is this conjunction card is the last card of this deck, and the energy kind of, as in most decks, they kind of like go in a crescendo. So like this is the highest vibe, the highest frequency card that you could potentially have. This is all about I'm going to actually take, I'm not going to read it, but I'm just going to take a few of the what is it called? The keywords. The keywords, love, divine union, infinity. This is all about the alchemist is patient and true to their own heart. Do not be fooled and preconceived by preconceived images of what connection looks like, what conjunction looks like. Love is creative and therefore seeks new forms. So definitely this is a very, I got the word strange. You might feel strange about this connection because there's definitely a level of, there is definitely a level of being triggered and of being uncomfortable with certain things, probably because this is so unknown to the both of you, that you get this sense of maybe this shouldn't be this way, maybe it could be better, but at the same time you feel so much peace and so much calm within this connection. It might definitely be one of those situations in which when you guys are together, everything is just literally just like calm waters. Just, I'm getting literally this feeling of like when you're sitting in front of a body of water and it's just calm and it's transparent and it's pure and it's clean and it's just the perfect temperature and it's just so freaking peaceful. And this is literally the vibe that I'm getting from your cards. But there's definitely this, especially with this patterns card coming up and the Chariot in there it is, lack of direction. You guys are not entirely sure where this is going. Like it feels so good right now, and with death at the end of at the bottom of the deck. This, by the way, gives me hella Kali vibes. This card, with this third eye and the tongue coming through. What was below that? The moon. I love this deck so much. Oh my god. There's this sense of like, what are we going to be? This is very likely for a lot of you, like take it as if it resonates with you. It could definitely, not all messages that always come through in every single reading have to resonate with every single person watching this. it wouldn't surprise me if you guys didn't have the what are we type of talk yet, or if you guys are like thinking about that, or if you indeed have talked about it, but neither of you had like a certain specific answer. It's kind of like, this feels so amazing right now, but what is it going to be like? And to a certain degree, there's also perhaps either you watching this or both of you might have some worries about, what if this is too good to be true right now? What if this is just very nice right now and it's going to sort of like go to ish down the line? So there's kind of a degree of worry and of not being 100% in it with this Nine of Cups in reverse. The Nine of Cups is the card of wish fulfillment, of like, my dreams came true. And then again, it's so interesting that we have this conjunction card, which is all about divine love and then finally arriving at the point that is basically pure love in its purest essence. This feels very significant also because we have literally, out of 5 tarot cards, we have 4 major arcanas. So for those of you who are not familiar with tarot yourselves, the major arcana, so like the Strength, the World, Judgment, the Chariot, the Death card. Oh yeah, we got 5 cards out of the 6, if you will. Those are the major arcana. And then you have cards like, oh look, we have the Magician, Gemini and Virgo energy. Then we have like the 4 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, and those other cards, and like the Cups cards and things like that. I'm very good at explaining, as you guys can notice. Always very, very good skill to have when you're a tarot reader. Anyways, what I was saying, the major arcana cards. Oh yeah, the other cards are like the Cups and the Swords and the Wands and the Pentacles. Those are like the minor arcana. The major arcana cards are representative of big life lessons, big life turning points, so very significant lessons and things to go through. It's like life checkpoints almost. It's different degrees of growth, because it's a journey from the zero, the full, to the world, which is like the completion of a process, the completion of a journey. Whereas the Cups cards and like the minor suits, the minor suit cards, the minor arcana, oh my god, the minor arcana cards, those are more like specific life situations or like characteristics or like specific energies about situations. So there's a whole lot of, also with the Death card and patterns, there's definitely a very big significance of transformation within this connection. You guys might be questioning your current beliefs. You might be questioning indeed, like, what is love? How do I show this person love? How do I receive love? How do I make this person understand what I mean when I say that I love them? What is a good friend? Like, what is the difference between a really good friend and an intimate, like, romantic connection? For some of you, it would definitely also not surprise me if indeed it was like in between a platonic and a romantic thing. So like, you might not be either. You might be kind of like in between those two things, and that might be a little bit confusing in the sense of like, indeed, like, oh sorry, I didn't mean to bump you guys. In the sense of like, what the hell is going on? What is this? Like, it feels so amazing and it feels so good and it feels like there's so much truth and so much beauty and value to this, but what is it? It's something that is so ineffable. They wouldn't even be able to describe it to other people if they ask you about it. Like, if you try to explain to people what this connection is, it might be just so difficult for you to explain because it's just so different than anything else that you've ever seen in movies, that you've seen in other people, that you've had before. You guys are kind of creating this new thing between the two of you. Which indeed, this is the unknown. You guys are like in something that feels, on one side, it feels so stable and solid and secure and so clear that you guys just love each other, that you have this pure love between the two of you. But at the same time, it's like, what is this actually? Like, what is going on? There's this kind of like this level of confusion. And you might even be confused about why you're confused, since it does feel so good. Oh yeah, I was saying, this might be definitely the type of situation in which, like, when you're together, everything is so smooth and so peaceful and so beautiful and super calm. But when you're alone with your thoughts, worries and anxieties and old patterns kind of start creeping in. There's definitely something about healing old patterns. There's definitely, again, this feels like a connection that happened after perhaps like a breakthrough that you had of some sort. Or you might be having a breakthrough because of this connection. There's definitely a huge element of change and transformation. There's something that is needing to be transformed. I'm seeing like, oh well, it's right here. But like, I was seeing this kind of like infinity shape but made of water that kind of like flows back and forth. Definitely in terms of when you guys are together practically, like when you guys are together physically, there might be a lot of cuddling and a lot of chilling, a lot of relaxing, a lot of laying down and just being, things like that. And not too many worries when you guys are together, but indeed there is this level of, there is something not quite entirely right, and I'm not entirely sure what to do with this. So this definitely might be, yeah. These patterns come up within you and they resurface, and you might get triggered, but you realize that there's nothing wrong necessarily practically with the connection as it is, because you trust this connection fully. But it's like, I'm hearing this question of like, why am I getting triggered? Why am I feeling that there's something's wrong? So you're trying to understand your own triggers and your own patterns. This person, like, I'm talking specifically about you watching this, but this is very likely something that your person is also doing. Because this is the energy of the connection. Now I'm feeling more you specifically, but definitely if this is coming across, like if this is coming through in this part of the reading, which is just all about like the connection that exists between the both of you, so neither of you specifically, this is very likely also your person. But there's this degree of like, how do I behave when certain things come up? How do I behave when I get anxieties about this? How do I behave? How do I express myself? There's definitely this trying to understand what to do with yourself and what to do with the connection in this sense. There's this kind of balance, or like this going back and forth between being so confused and having super clear ideas. And I think this is all I'm getting so far for you guys. So I'm going to put this away. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put these to the side and get your next cards, which are all about what does your person need you to know at a soul level, on a spiritual higher level. So we have number 11, taking the plunge. We have you are unique, be yourself, everyone else is taken. Again, just like in the last pile, I'm suddenly getting nose itches for some reason. That's so weird. We have transformation, number 19, or 10, if you will. We have the solar plexus chakra with number 3. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, our willpower, as well as knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. There you freaking go. Didn't I literally kind of talk about that in terms of the connection? And success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. Okay, so, oh my god, this makes me so... I just want to laugh and cry. There's so much beauty in this connection, and you know it and you feel it. And if you were doubting it, if your anxiety creeps in sometimes, I almost forget that I need to take the tarot too. I do feel the need to take reversals for this round. If your anxiety creeps in and tells you that there's all types of things wrong, don't completely discard it, because those thoughts and emotions and bodily reactions come from somewhere. But don't let them overtake, and don't let them blind you to the degree in which you're like not seeing the beautiful things anymore. I really want to cry, but like in a good way. This is like, oh my... It's like you're being invited through this connection to be so present in the present moment. But there's indeed like old wounds and old patterns and things that kind of keep resurfacing, which again, it's not something that you have to push away. Sure, keep listening to your system. Like your system isn't more intelligent than you know. I keep wanting to say like be smart about how you let those anxieties and fears and doubtful thoughts affect you, because your anxieties and your feelings and your emotions are yours. They're completely and fully yours. Sure, other people might trigger them. It doesn't necessarily always have to mean that they actually are doing something wrong or something hurtful. Like they might be doing or saying completely things that are completely innocent and completely with good intentions, and still they might hurt you, which again, it doesn't have to mean that you have to discredit your own hurt. Interesting that I said hearth, because there's a card in another deck that is all about comfort and coziness and being at home chilling and being in your heart energy. Don't discredit your anxiety, but also don't let it take over. Listen to what it has to say to you. Look into where it comes from and how you can heal it and how you can acknowledge it and integrate it, but don't let it take over you. And I feel like you guys are trying both very hard to not do this. I feel like you guys are both trying very hard to not let things ruin this connection. There's definitely a very big degree of presence when you guys are together with each other, but also this background, there it is. It's like this background energy of what if, of like, what if I'm wrong? What if this is not okay? What if I should feel a different way? What if, just a lot of, I'm seeing a snake, but like not the, it's like I'm getting the snake of the Garden of Eden type of vibes. Oh, maybe I should cover the dongalong that we have right here. Because, you know, I don't have problems with dongalongs, but I think YouTube has problems with those things, which is weird because, I mean, whatever. That's a topic for another day. Okay, so I was already rambling on, but let me pull some cards. What is it that your person's higher self, your person's soul needs you to know on a soul level? What is it that your person wants you to know on a... Okay, something very interesting happened. So it's currently Mercury retrograde, and other than that, there's absolutely no plausible reason for my camera to stop filming, because my camera has enough space in that sense. But it's very interesting because it was a very different type of energy in which my camera stopped filming than the previous pile, which I'm not going to spoil. If you felt called to it, you can check. Although it was very different energy. So maybe, I mean, it's up to you. You can still resonate with multiple piles even if they're different energies. I feel like you guys might have a degree of understanding each other without words, like understanding each other even at a distance. There might be a degree of, even you might call it telepathy. Sometimes it might happen that you guys say to each other things that you're literally thinking about, like without mentioning it out loud, and the other person says something about that very thing, and you're like, what the hell? How did you know that I was thinking about that, or something like that? Yeah, that was a little piece of insight there. Now I'm getting paranoid because I don't want to blabber into absolute nothingness. Okay, so let's see what other messages does Pile 2's person higher self, Pile 2's person soul have for Pile 2 at this time, please? What is it that Pile 2's person truly at a core level needs them to know? So we have Death in reverse. Okay, so that is very interesting. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. What else does this person need Pile 2 to know at a soul level, please? We have the Ace of Swords. Okay. What else does this person's higher self need Pile 2 to know? Wow. Does this card want to come out? We have the Magician in reverse. That is so interesting. I saw that card earlier, but it was upright. Same for the Death card. What does this person need Pile 2 to know on a soul level, please? We have the Queen of Cups, more Cancer energy. Oh my god. Okay, so we have the Sun on the bottom of the deck. I want to take a clarifier for the Magician, please. Can we have a clarifier for the Magician? For what does this person need? There again, there's that 8 energy. Did we have the Strength card? Number 8 might be very relevant to you guys. Let me... Okay, we're still rolling. I'm being a little paranoid. Number 8, or the Infinity symbol, we have the 6 of Wands in reverse. I want to take one more. 2 Wands? I feel like that was just my mistake. Okay, what? Can you please clarify more about the Magician in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse? I'm hearing something along the lines of you don't have to be super awesome all the time, just be yourself. You don't have to impress me all the time, just be yourself. You don't have to be strategic, just be yourself. What about this Magician in reverse and Six of Wands, please? I actually don't feel like I need a clarifier anymore. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. What is this? We have the Moon again. The Moon really wanted to come out to say hi. Okay. Yeah, there's this sense of like even me right now with these cards. It's like don't be too. The message. One of the core messages is like don't be too caught up in thinking about how things should be. And about whether you should be feeling good or bad about certain things, about how, like, whether... I feel like you might sometimes be bypassing your own feelings because you feel like your emotion... Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so there's this... The Queen of Cups, she's all about being extremely in control of her emotions. Like, she's not overpowered by them. She stands... When I would say she, it doesn't have to, like, this is just the energy. It's feminine energy. It doesn't have to be applicable to only people who resonate with she pronouns. But the Queen of Cups, she's all about feeling all of her emotions and being embracing of all of her depth, fully, completely, utterly, unconditionally, but not being overwhelmed by them. She navigates her emotions with grace and with empowerment. But she doesn't let her emotions dictate her reality, how she acts towards people, nor how she interprets her life and the truth about situations and people. And she listens to her emotions, but she doesn't let them take over. There's a very strong degree of, oh my God, this might definitely be. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys, like, if the more feminine energy in this connection had strong water energy, specifically Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could also be, but specifically Cancer, Scorpio, and the masculine energy might have more air placements, potentially Gemini, Aquarius. I keep wanting to see this Moon card. I feel like this is supposed to... Genuinely, right now, I feel like this card is not that relevant. This Moon card keeps wanting to come out. And the Sun again! Wait, yeah, what the hell? I saw the Sun card when I was done pulling these cards. You guys saw it. I don't know if I was keeping the deck, like, in view or not, but holy shit. This was... You know what? I'm just gonna keep it like that. We don't have to follow the rules. It's okay. Just speak your mind. Truly acknowledge the way that you're feeling. And everything will eventually play out how it needs to play out. It makes a lot of sense. It might not make sense always, like rationally speaking, but it makes a lot of sense on an intuitive type of level. So the message here is keep going. I'm hearing don't be afraid, but at the same time, it's okay to be afraid. Just listen to those fears, but take them for what they are. Triggers and fears and anxieties, they're not necessarily reflective of reality. You create your reality. There's a lot of like inner alchemy going on within you guys, like on a personal individual level. And I'm getting for some of you, there's actually difficulties with communicating with words with each other. Like you might be much better at communicating with each other with like physical touch and like perhaps like sending each other meaningful songs or in any other type of way. You guys might have a lot of tattoos between the two of you. You might have given each other tattoos. Or something like that. There's a fly. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out. You're not. And there might be voices on the outside, or like even, it might be literally people on the outside criticizing or like questioning you guys' connection. Or it might be your inner critic worrying and wondering about what other people might think about you guys' connection. And again, I'm getting strong queer vibes that it doesn't have to be like non-heterosexual connections necessarily. This could literally apply to like a male and female cisgender heterosexual type of connection too. But there's definitely a queerness, a quirkiness, like a strangeness, an unusual type of aspect to you guys' connection. But it works. It's like you guys are like polar opposites of each other, but it works so much. And with that, what was it, like the conjunction card, which is all about, look at this shit. Oh my god, this infinity symbol is all about polarities meeting in the middle, and always like Libra is coming to mind right now. We have the Ace of Swords, which is air energy, so Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But we have this balance between digging deep into your inner world and looking at your darkness, but also not forgetting about the light, and living into your light and shining all of your light, but not forgetting about your darkness. There's this, wow, we even especially have like the, oh my god, this is so cool. Is it still filming? 9-9. I said this on 9-9. This is so fucking cool. Oh my god. Leo energy again, Cancer energy again. Look at this shit. I can't believe. Okay, I feel like I need to keep going with the reading because you guys are not here to see me freak out about how much I adore tarot. There is no answer. There is no clear answer about how you guys should live this connection. There is no perspective about how this connection is going to go, because you guys are literally like, you guys are paving the path for each other. I'm seeing this thing about, I'm getting a vision of, oh my god, how do I explain this? It's almost like a comet or like an astrological body just like moving through space. Or you could see it also, I'm getting like all types of things right now, but like it's like, Spirit, how do I word this? Okay, it's like I'm getting this image of something that is below the surface, so like in actual ground, in actual earth, dirt, and you guys are like digging a tunnel for yourselves. So you guys are like going along this new path that nobody else has ever gone through, and there's no way to know how this will go, or like which way you should go. You just have to go and see which way eventually it comes out in, and making your decisions along the way with each other, tuning into how you feel, and using your rationality and your words and your communication, using this intellect, this brain, this mind energy to direct your life and your path and your course and this connection based on the information that you get from your inner world and from your emotions and from your intuition. There's this need to not see, even with this card, like you are unique, be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Like you guys are here to pave a new path. That's something that keeps coming through. Perhaps transforming. Perhaps you guys have had a lot of situations in the past, or like a few situations in the past that were kind of always the same patterns showing up, because we did have the pattern card coming up earlier. Showing up in kind of different, like same old energies, but showing up in different types of dynamics. And you guys both, before meeting or before getting together, you guys might have had to like deal with some other karmic type of situations. You might have had to clear some energies in your life and clear the energies between some connections that you guys had like individually, separately in like your individual lives. And you came into a point in your lives in which you were like, I'm not doing this again. Like there's so no way that I'm going to do this again. And then you guys came into each other's lives, and it was like this whole entirely new thing. Is this a world? Yeah, this is a planet. This is so cool. This is literally, this fly is sitting on my face. Sorry. Oh my god, I realized as soon as I said it. Anyways, that is so weird. If you're worried about not knowing where this is going, good, because you decide where this is going. You literally have to decide, and you create where this is going. There's no such thing as like, oh my god, is this good? Is this wrong? Is this bad? Obviously, it feels freaking amazing, and obviously there are some things that don't sit entirely well with you, because there's a lot of inner healing and inner transformation to be done. And with this transformation card, there's a lot of transformation that you guys have been going through and are going through currently at this time of you finding this reading, and at the time of you guys connecting with each other, that you are going through individually, but also in terms of like how you connect with each other. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. Like if you guys just have this love and share this love, then that's pretty much all you need. I'm kind of getting this vibe of like, that's all you need to know right now. And just keep feeding into that and see what you want to do with it. And just let it go with the flow and direct it with clear vision. We did have the card of clarity. With clear vision and intentions, and consciously walk this path with this person, because you guys are on this beautiful, unique journey together with each other, and it's so freaking awesome. There is no right or wrong answer. It's really up to you. And I feel like that's all I'm getting for you guys right now. This is so cool. I love this so much. I just want to sit here and just chill with these cards because it's so awesome. I'm gonna see if I can get anything else, and otherwise we're just going to go into advice and spirit animals. Oh my god, I'm so curious to see about spirit animals. I would love it if you guys let me know in the comments if you guys have been noticing the spirit animals in your day-to-day life, symbolically or like in real life, seeing these animals actually when they come out with this beautiful spirit animal decks, because I'm so curious. And there's definitely this need of gaining confidence, because there's definitely, both of you guys might been affected a lot by what people said about you and what people said to you. And that's also why there's this shared feeling of like, oh, what are people gonna say about our connection? What are people gonna think about our connection? Like, what if they don't approve? Maybe they're right, and maybe there is something that is not entirely right with our connection. So it's really a matter of finding your own intuition and your own clear vision and your own boundaries, essentially, about how you want this connection to be and how you want to be yourself as a human. I'm just seeing these earrings in this card right now, which reminds me of Sagittarius, so I feel like that was relevant to notice, to mention. But yeah, let's take some advice cards for you guys. That was so cool. I feel like I have this feeling that there's so much more to say, but I don't know what it is. And that is literally the feeling that I was trying to convey. Like, there's so much to discover within this connection and between the two of you. And there's so much value and so much growth and transformation and potential. But you guys don't have all the answers yet. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is like a very new type of connection, if you only recently started connecting very intimately and closely with this person. But there's so much. There's literally the feeling, it feels exactly like this card. It's like this kind of like explosion about like, oh my god, there's so much to discover here. There's so many directions and so many things. Sekhmet, courage, truth, shadow work. Yeah, there you fucking go. Oh, sorry. This card is getting me. Here we have Leo vibes again. Strength card. This card looks so much like the strength card. So Leo energy, very likely. Or Leo season. You guys might have gotten together during Leo season, or you might be watching this during Leo season. Somebody of you might have, well, obviously, if Leo energy is relevant, birthdays in Leo season. Wow, this is so cool. But yeah, with the moon and taking the plunge and shadow work, there's definitely this encouragement to heal yourself and to heal your patterns, but to do this in a very different way than you have been used to. So now perhaps you might also have been reaching a point in which like all the things that you were doing before this connection and that you were doing before with yourself and in terms of shadow work, in terms of healing work, it might have just stopped working because you just grew so much and you transformed already so much that the old methods weren't working anymore. So this is there's definitely this sense of like exploration. That's also why I was getting Sagittarius vibes. Sense of exploration and just seeing what works and what other. There's an encouragement to be curious and be like, okay, so what is going on here? What can I do with this information? What is this anxiety telling me? What is this thing telling me? Oh, I was holding the deck in the wrong way. What else? What other advice do we have for pile 2, please? I just saw the goddess Freya. Might be relevant for some of you. Felt like it was Oh my god, is that a... Oh no, that's literally... I thought it was a spider, but it's again that little tiny fly. You know what? We can just leave it there. It's interesting because I've never seen a fly like this. If I do this, it doesn't go away, so it's very strange. It doesn't make any sense in my mind. And it's very tiny. Why do you... It's so weird. Anyways, very on brand for this reading. Love it. It looks like a spider. What else do we have in terms of advice for pile 2, please, when it comes to this connection? We have spells and rituals, bring magic and self-care together. Definitely, again, this sense of bask in... Again, this sense of like this Taurus, Cancer type of energy. Of taking care of yourselves and taking care of each other and being soft and sweet and nurturing and bringing intention into that. Not necessarily, like, of course, if you guys are into witchcraft, sure, take this literally, but it doesn't have to be literally like spells and rituals. You might want to explore some more conscious activities, like conscious, intimate connection activities with this person. I just saw in my head, and now I'm looking at it on my shelf, that We're Not Really Strangers game. So that might be something that you guys have been called to do, that you guys might want to do together. Or just also really like training, kind of like practicing clear communication with each other. What other advice do we have? Do we have to take... Oh, we're just gonna take all of them. So we have the crescent moon. Keep moving forward. You got this. See, this is an encouragement of like you're on the right path with this connection. Whatever it looks like practically, you're on the right path. Like it's going, and it's all good. That's again transformation. Wow. Shed, let go, make room for greatness. Yeah. Oh my god, I just got this huge immense insight. If there's a lot of anxieties like that feel irrational to you, that feel like they don't make sense, don't discard any part of this dichotomy, because you're getting anxiety on one side, and on the other side it's like, but this anxiety doesn't make any sense. Both, there's truth to both. You're getting anxiety, which is telling you something, but if you also have the feeling that it doesn't make any sense, that you maybe shouldn't be having that anxiety because there's nothing wrong, there's also truth to that. So this is with like make room for greatness. Don't let, again, I feel like I said this already in different ways, but don't let your anxieties and fears take away from what is beautiful within this connection. Don't let it ruin this connection, because I know it's a very hard message to receive sometimes, especially when you are in the midst of, which I don't feel like you guys are necessarily in right now, but anxiety usually does in certain ways ruin or like affect connections negatively, because it brings in... Anxiety is not necessarily reflective of present reality. It always is valid. It always has valid and important information to convey to you, but it usually belongs to the past. And of course, it's like a coping mechanism, because it's like your brain trying to predict negative outcomes and to spare yourself some hurt. But anxiety has definitely, like, if you act upon your anxiety, if you let it take over you, then it definitely has the very big potential of ruining something that is good. Which again, doesn't have to mean that you have to feel bad about your anxiety, because again, there's truth and value to your anxiety, but I don't want to repeat myself, which I'm doing a lot. Mercury creature, haha, hi. And then we have familiar, listen and learn. Exactly. Here we also have this, this person's body with a cat head, which again gives me very much Aquarius, also ancient Egypt vibes, which ancient Egypt always reminds me of Libra. So definitely make a discernment between what is familiar and what is true to you right now. Listen and learn. That's, yeah, very, very important message for you guys right here. So last but not least, we're going to take some spirit animals for you guys and see what messages they have to bring. What spirit animals are relevant for pile 2, please? We have the Ram, Perseverance. Aries energy might be relevant. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up, and good luck will follow. There you go. This is all about the power of the mind. Like, your mind is your friend. You don't have to be scared of your mind. You don't have to be like, oh my God, the mind only creates problems. Like, no, that's not true. Your mind is a tool. It's a tool. That's a part of your truth. That's a part of your greatness. You shouldn't be only listening to your mind as much as you shouldn't be only listening to your emotions, because neither of them have the full truth. The full truth comes when you balance the two things. I guess this card kind of wanted to come out too. Eagle, mastery. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Here again, let go of the past and soar. Realize what triggers belong in the past and which ones have... Look at this shit. Look at this shit. We have the Lion card. Oh my god. Again, I had one of those instances it was like in which I was literally thinking, if the Lion card comes out, I'm gonna freaking scream. I didn't say it because then I was like, if it doesn't come out, I'm gonna make a fool out of myself. But hey, you know what? Lion, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past again. What the hell? And reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. There you go. This is definitely confirming, again, let go of your past, as well as you found yourself a good one. This is a good person. This is not necessarily like this is a good person, because we all have our shitty sides, okay? There's no such thing as a good person and a bad person. It's all about balance. But yeah, this is just this really feels a confirmation of like you found yourself a good one. Like there's so much value in this connection. I'm hearing like don't fuck it up, and this is not meant in a bad way. This is not meant to say like, oh, you're gonna fuck it up or something, but just to be aware in the ways in which you can self-sabotage and prevent a good thing for yourself to happen. Horse, freedom. Again, this card always gives me Aquarius vibes. Your heart is pure and free. Exactly. There's this heart energy that I was getting at the beginning with all this air and rationality and clarity and letting go of the past and this transformation vibes. It's really, this is, your heart is pure and free. Freedom comes from the heart. There's definitely this sense of like your heart is finding a degree of freedom within this connection. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. I feel like I want to take one more because this is just so freaking awesome. We have, oh, well, I guess we're going to take two. We have, oh, look at that. We have the humpback wheel with singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. There's a lot about guidance. There's a lot about following your... I am frustrated. The camera stopped filming again. I hadn't said much else, honestly. I was ending up the reading with these two cards with the humpback wheel with singer. I was saying there's a lot about following your intuition and speaking. There's definitely some focus or some highlighting here of speaking things out. So if communication, if like expressing yourself, if saying how you feel has been something that you guys have been struggling with, that might be something that actually benefits you guys and you guys' connection to work on. And then to end up the reading, we had the ladybug with good luck. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. And on that note, pile 2, thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I love this reading so much. I really hope that it gave you some type of insight or the answers or confirmations that you were looking for. Definitely feel free to leave me a comment down below, letting me know how it resonated, as it means so much to me to know how my readings land on the other side of the screen. And also feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps with the algorithm. And thank you again so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi pile 3, if you chose this beautiful hematite crystal as well as this card right here, this is going to be reading all about what your person needs you to know on a soul level. So this might be about messages from your person's higher self to you, to like your human little self, or from their heart to yours, from just on a very soul subconscious type of level, if that makes sense. So it's really at the most utter core, if that makes sense. I don't know, English is not my native language, you might have noticed before, but it's basically messages from their deepest, truest, realist self. Okay, I've blabbed enough. So you guys chose this card, which I'm going to reveal in a minute, what the actual title and keywords of this card are, and I'm going to show you close up, but wow, I'm so confused. Brain fart. So what we're going to do in this reading, in case you guys skipped the intro, we are going to do this as per usual in 2 different stages with advice at the end and spirit animals. The first section of this reading is going to be an energy check. So you should basically be able to find the energy of your connection with this person with the person that you're thinking about in these cards, what I'm going to be describing. So we're going to take these pre-shuffled oracles as well as some tarot cards, and then afterwards, when we've done this, so that you can know whether this is indeed the right pile for you or not, we are going to dive into some other pre-shuffled oracles that I have right here by my side, and some more tarot cards to see basically what these messages are, what the core messages from your person's higher self, what they really want you to know at a soul level. And then at the end, indeed, we're going to take some advice for you personally, as well as some spirit animals. So that's that. Now, you chose this card, and this card reads, "Come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires." And I'm going to show you a little bit close up. And if you can notice, there's a little tiny ass bee over there. So this is your card. And I'm going to be keeping this card on both sections because that felt relevant. Now, for the rest of the energy of your connection, we have South Node, North Node. We have Neptune with number 9. We have Abundance. We have Revolution. We have Center. And we have Pisces number 24 or 6 with I Believe. So right away, for some reason, I got very strong Sagittarius. Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. I don't know exactly what that means yet. Oh yeah, I saw the Temperance card in my head, so I'm curious to see if it's gonna come out later in the tarot at some point. But yeah, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy might be relevant. In terms of other zodiac signs, we have strong Pisces energy because we have the Pisces card and Neptune. Neptune is the ruler in modern. Did I just bump you guys? I'm so sorry. I'm being so messy today, but that's okay. It's Mercury retrograde. I've had some glitches, as in like the camera stopped filming in my previous 2 piles. In very significant ways, I must say. So I hope it's not going to happen here, but you know, you never know. Anyways, we have strong Pisces energy. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and that's it in terms of this abundance card reminds me of earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn for some reason. So take that if it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. So we're gonna take your tarot cards right away. I do feel like, do we need to take reversals? No, I don't feel like we need to take reversals for this section. I mean, I'm going to shuffle them just all upright, and if something comes out in reverse and it feels relevant in reverse, then we're just gonna follow that. Okay. Couple good shuffles. The decks are always thoroughly shuffled before each pile, so you don't have to worry about that, but I also really enjoy, is this all upright? Yeah, you don't have to worry about that, but I also really enjoy shuffling on camera. So what is the current energy of this connection for pile 3 with their person, please? What is the current energies between these 2 people? And this okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. Do we have to take all these? I'm gonna put them back because I'm not entirely sure. What is the current energy in this connection, please? And that card flew away. And this is the 8 of Pentacles. There you go. More. What card is this? I believe it's some Virgo placement. But yeah, we have more Virgo energy. What is the energy of this connection at this time? What's currently going on in this connection, please? For pile 3. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Swords. Look, this looks like freaking Sagittarius because she has a bow and arrow. This is so cool. Sagittarius energy sneaking in like that. And then we also have the Ace of Cups. Oh my god, we have the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And we have Death. This is so cool because it also came out in this very position in one of the previous piles. I think I need some clarifiers for these tarot cards because this is not it. This is not it. Okay, first and foremost, I want to say that you guys might be in a type of not not I want to say non-connection, but that doesn't make any sense. But like, you guys might be not necessarily very close at this moment. You might be potentially in no contact, or you might be in some type of situations in which you guys are just not exactly close, because that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of distraction, like you both are focused on a lot of different things outside of this connection, and like not much is happening in this connection at this time. I need a clarifier, but for what? I think that's very significant of you guys' energy. It's like you guys are not very sure of where you guys stand with each other, and you guys don't even know where the problem is. You might lack a lot of communication between the two of you. That's why I'm also thinking like you guys might be completely like not communicating with each other at all. I just saw the number 77 when I was checking my camera, because indeed I need to check sometimes because I don't want to be talking to nothingness again. Wow. Okay, so it might be the case that you guys, perhaps some of you has blocked the other, and that you guys might have like been sending messages to each other, but you haven't been able to read them because you guys have been blocked or something like that. I'm getting birds might be very significant to you. Birds are the messengers, very strong Mercury energy. Birds might be relevant for some of you. I don't know, springtime. There's so much vague energy in this connection. If you guys have no idea of what's going on, this is probably your pile, because this is definitely the vibe that I'm getting from you, from this connection right now. What the hell? There's so much. I feel like you guys feel so much potential within this connection, and that you guys have felt so much happiness with one another. But that you guys right now are just very much focused on other things because you guys are not kind of like not talking to each other. And there's also this degree of runner-chaser dynamic, and potentially your person might have been the runner. This could be flip-flop, doesn't have to be. It's not necessarily very strictly relevant right now, because it's not a person A, person B thing. It's just like the connection. But there's definitely this idea of like running, like I'm getting beating around the bush vibes. You guys might have never been really straightforward with each other. You guys might have just like parted ways, or just like stopped talking to each other without really saying what was going on between the two of you. And one of you has been in this energy of kind of still craving, or potentially both. I'm honestly not entirely sure. And this to me just indicates, while I'm reading these cards, since I can't really pinpoint who's who, because usually I am, like, even when I'm reading, like, connection energies, I can kind of, like, know if I'm talking about, like, an energy, if it's coming from, like, the person that you're asking about, or the person that is watching this. But right now I can't pinpoint who's who. So that's definitely something that might be reflective of you guys' energy with this person, is, like, you don't know where this person stands, what they want, because perhaps their energy has been very wishy-washy. You guys might have like experienced so much happiness and so much joy and so much emotional fulfillment and closeness with each other. You guys might have even said things to each other like, oh, you might have made plans about like, let's do this, let's talk about that, and like, let's do this together, let's like work on some creative projects together. If you guys have like some creative talents or passions in common, you might have been talking about that a lot, but nothing really ever grounded in that sense. It feels very ungrounded. It feels like you guys are so connected on like an emotional kind of like inner level, like you think about each other a lot, but there's this wishy-washiness type of energy. It's not very grounded, and this again tells me that you guys might have this type of situation in which you don't know where the other person stands, because you guys might have never talked about it, or if you have talked about it, it never really grounded. So it's just like you say one thing, but you do the complete opposite, and I have no idea of what's going on with you. If you have friends in common, like you guys might be sometimes topic of conversation between like common friends, in a very casual type of way, and that might be moments in which some feelings are triggered again, or like feelings or like patterns or something like that. It's very unclear, and that's for sure. Do we need to take some clarifiers? I want to know more about I feel like I want to know more about the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. What's going on with this Ten of Cups, please? What about this Ten of Cups? What's going on in this connection, pile 3 and their person? The Lovers. Gemini energy. Dang. What is this? Oh my god, we have the Ten of Pentacles showing up here. Okay, what about the Six of Pentacles, please? What about the Six of Pentacles, please? Oh, damn. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands clarifying the Six of Pentacles. What the hell? This is so confusing. We have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck right now. So I feel like some of you might have been involved with some... There might have been drama with friends. Either you or them or both might have been like involved in ways that were not completely wholesome and not completely straightforward or not completely out in the open with some common friends or something like that. Or there might have been this feeling of like, oh, I don't feel important to you from either side. Like, it might vary a lot for those of you watching. Like 50% of you might be resonated with one side and other 50% of you might be resonated with the other side. But there's definitely this feeling of like, I don't understand what this means to you because we haven't really talked about it. There's a degree of stalking each other's social media and keeping an eye on each other because I keep being pulled to this little eye right here. And we have the Page of Swords, which is often indicative of like kind of sneakily keeping an eye on someone and stuff like that. You guys might have had a very brief physical intimate encounter or something like that, or like almost, or like have talked about it, or have like had some conversation that clearly pointed at you guys being interested in each other in that way, but it might have never grounded, or it might have just been like one thing and then it kind of like you guys never talked to each other again because it was weird energy afterwards or something like that. There's definitely a lot of affection I'm feeling. But it's kind of being pushed in the background. It definitely doesn't feel like you guys are together in the 3D right now. This Neptune card, this is already, like, I know this is still reading the energy. I think that this is something that you're very aware already of. But there's an invitation from your spirit guides or from your person's higher self or from your own higher self to look at what the situation is practically in the 3D and not be too focused on wishful thinking or like looking at things through rose-colored glasses or looking at how things, or looking at your like 5D connection and I can still feel this person. Yeah, but if you guys are not talking, then that's the reality right now. There's definitely this invitation to look at things how they truly are. You guys might have some degree of polar opposite placements with this South Node, North Node. So like Aries, Libra, Taurus and Scorpio, Aquarius and Leo, Cancer and Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius. Those are like the opposite signs. You might have something along those lines, or just resonate, like one person might resonate strongly with like very feminine energy or very masculine. Or for some of you, I'm actually getting that both of you are quite androgynous in terms of energy and how you embody your energy. This doesn't have to be necessarily with like gender expression, but in terms of your energy, you might both display very strong masculine and feminine qualities, and that's why you kind of like keep circling around each other, because you have this magnetic pull and this like complementarity between the two of you. But there's definitely this feeling of push and pull. And I'm getting now specifically for you watching this, so for the person watching this, there's this degree of you kind of waiting on this person, waiting to hear from them perhaps, and relying a lot and still looking at this connection and experiencing this connection from the higher energies that you can feel and the emotional connection that you can feel with this person, while not much is happening in the 3D, like in practical reality. And there's this message about you keeping, kind of pushing this, like energetically pushing this connection from happening away from you, because you are in this state of like longing and needing. and this is the very energy that you ooze. It's kind of telling the universe, I don't have this. I don't have this connection, and I want it, I need it, I crave it. This very craving and needing and desiring and longing and kind of like wanting to pull this thing in. The energy that you're in is literally telling the universe, like, I don't have this. This is kind of what you're manifesting for yourself. So there's definitely a degree of revolution, center, like focus your energy on yourself and revolutionize the way that you are kind of like trying to manifest this. Like, you should they're very annoying, but you should let go of the swallows. There you fucking go. Oh my god. Wow. Holy shite. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't be oh my god. I was looking at the first when I said about birds, I was just being pulled looking at this little bird, and just now I saw that there's a heck of a lot of swallows. Is it called swallows? Yeah, in this card. Like, look at that. Oh my god. Swallows, springtime. I'm getting for some of you, springtime might be the time that you guys are actually gonna come together. Come together right now over me. That's just a song that I heard. Yeah, those always remind me of spring. That's a very like a spring type of symbol. I'm also getting fall vibes because of this card, and I don't know exactly for what. Like, you might be watching this in fall time. I mean, I'm uploading this in winter 2022, but you know, you could still watch this video like 3 years from now. That would be cool. Say hi, leave a comment if you're watching this in like 2025 or some shit. Anyways, number 666 might be relevant for you guys. Or you guys might have been seeing a lot of repeating nines, which is like cycles coming to an end. It's things ending. And it doesn't have to sound bad. It's not a bad thing. Things ending is not a bad thing. It's just like things coming to completion. It's like this step before something completes. So like you might be very close to kind of like uniting with this person, but there's more transformation and more inner growth and inner transformation to be done, which is a lot about like coming into the present moment and being grounded and not living in kind of like there's a difference between being spiritually intuitive and with all this Pisces energy kind of being escapist, and I want to say the word delusional. Don't take it in a bad way, because it's not a bad thing. It's just a type of energy. It's just to say that you might be like, it's wishful thinking. It's like building castles in the air and hoping for things to happen when they're clearly not happening. And just there's a difference between waiting on someone and being patient with a situation. And I feel like you watching this are kind of in this waiting state. You should not be waiting. Like, of course you don't, if you don't want to, and if you can't, and if there's something inside of you that makes you want to keep holding on to this person and still being open to this person, that's completely valid. But you shouldn't be in a state of waiting on them and kind of holding, like putting your life on hold and putting your own self on hold while you're waiting for this person. If anything, you should keep going in the growth within yourself, regardless of what this person does. Because perhaps this just means that you guys have to be doing a lot of growth within yourselves and have experiences and just grow individually. And you're going through different things right now, and it just doesn't match up. Like it's just not the same frequency. So you guys literally physically cannot meet each other where you're at, because you are at such different frequencies. And that just means that you can only come together and really merge in the 3D and the physical reality when you guys both have grown as individuals and really raised both of your frequencies and healed a lot of things, so that you can kind of like meet in the middle. I'm kind of hearing this card, this come to me card. I'm actually gonna read a little bit, not the whole thing. Where is it? come to me. It's all about like attracting. The rose is never reaching for the bee, never grasping or overstretching. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blossoms regardless. Like, you should just do you. You shouldn't let this person's absence or presence or comments or thoughts or whatever affect who you are. You should just shamelessly embody your own true core energy, because that's the only way in which you're going to, first of all, be aligned and attract whatever is meant for you. Second of all, be in your highest frequency, because if you live up to your authentic self, then you literally have no boundary, no boundaries, no bounds, no limits to what is possible for you, because you're just fully embodying your own unique, special, powerful energy and personality and character. There's a strong invitation for you to truly come back to yourself. And on that note, I want to put away these cards and just move on to the next section. Why do I keep saying session? That is so weird. Section of your reading. So these cards represent, together with the tarot that we're going to pull in a second as well, we're going to look into what is the core message, or what the messages are that your person needs you to truly know at a soul level right now. So we have Balance and Unity, number 21, or 3, if you will. We have 2 of these cards. You Are the Universe, number 29. And we have Color, number 40. Then we also have Compassion, number 15, or 6 in numerology. There you go, 6 again. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Then we have Face Your Fears, Farewell to Fear Phantoms. And then we also have Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Is this? I think I'm gonna put this like that. So I do want to shuffle with a reverse. Oh, are we still rolling? We're still rolling. Very nice. No. So in terms of zodiac signs that I'm noticing right now, we have Balance and Unity, which reminds me of should I censor this? Oh God, we're just gonna put things on there. It's not that I want to, because I don't care. I don't have a problem with depictions of human bodies or human bodies in themselves, but you know, YouTube is a little how to say, old-fashioned. I don't know. I just precautions. I don't want to be blocked or something from YouTube, and I just want to do my readings. Okay, I can't do anything about it. Anyways, we have Death, which reminds me of Scorpio, because the Death card in tarot is all Scorpio energy. And we have the number 6, which is Virgo, and we have the number 3, which is Gemini. We have 4, Cancer energy. Then 29 reduces to 11. Or 2, Taurus. So those might be some things. Hematite, you chose a very, very grounding stone. That's so cool. But like very grounding and psychically protective stone. So there's definitely this need to, there's a lot of higher chakra activities, especially like the crown and third eye. And they might be overactive for some of you. So there's definitely this need to balance that energy with the root chakra, if that makes sense. Why can't I shuffle? Okay, what is it that pile 3's person needs pile 3 to know at a soul level? Messages either from their higher self. Okay, so we have the 7 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, Someone in this connection might be a mother. That's strongly coming through right now. It doesn't have to be necessarily for everyone. But yeah. What messages does pile 3's person need pile 3 to know at a soul level? Important messages. We have the the 8 of Swords. We have Death in reverse. This is so interesting. The Death card has shown up in all piles so far. This has been a lot about transformation, and this is definitely going in the same direction. One more card, please, and then I think I'm gonna take a few clarifiers. Hey, are we gonna take these, or are we just gonna take these? So we have the Crone of Cups, which in this deck is the King of Cups. That is so interesting because we have counterparts energy. And the 6 of Cups, so lots of Cups energy. I do want a clarification for the Queen of Cups, please. What about this Queen of Cups? What is the message about the Queen of Cups? What is the message about the Queen of Cups, please? Okay, that is clear. The Emperor in reverse. Yeah, okay. Someone here is being very stubborn, very stubborn, and very with kind of tunnel vision, kind of being stuck in their ways. This is Aries energy, by the way, but it doesn't have to be. Getting strong Taurus energy for some reason. Someone here is being very stuck in their ways and being too calculative almost about what they expect from the other person. It's kind of like someone here is being is more focused on what they want from the other person rather than on themselves. And I'm getting, again, for a lot of you, this will be you watching this. It's like you have this need, you might feel this need for this person to, if you are experiencing a lot of anxiety, the 7 of Pentacles is the card of waiting for things to come to fruition. The 8 of Swords is the card of basically of anxiety, of being blinded by your mental prison, by just essentially just feeling trapped within your thoughts, being really uncomfortable with your emotions and kind of wanting to escape your emotions by rationalizing them. So you might be thinking a lot about the things that you're experiencing and really putting the responsibility, this might be subconsciously. It's not that you're literally thinking about like, oh, you're responsible for fixing my feelings, but you might have this feeling of like, oh, this person is making me anxious. This person, by not talking to me or by having this wishy-washy energy, is making me anxious, which, I mean, there's truth to that, because of course people can trigger you and people can treat you in comforting or non-comforting ways. But it's kind of come to the extreme in which you're expecting this person to change so that you can feel better, rather than working on yourself so that you are empowered within yourself and you have control over your own emotions. And you're kind of like becoming a master of navigating your own inner world and finding a balance between emotions and rationality. If you are attracted to this person and this person is what you would call kind of going in escapism mode, if they're running from you, if they're like constantly in avoidant mode, then they're very likely mirroring back at you a certain mechanisms that is indeed like escapism of emotions and running away from your own emotions and trying to indeed avoidance of your own emotions back at you. So if you're being annoyed by this person, if you're bothered and frustrated by this person constantly running away, and you're kind of like pointing the finger at them and be like, oh, you're not facing your feelings, you're running away from your emotions, there's a degree to which you're doing that as well. Because if you are so attracted and so called to this person and you're so bothered by this mechanism of theirs, they're very likely pointing out, like they're just holding up a mirror to you of like, hey, listen, this is literally what you're doing. Because you keep feeling called, and there's something that keeps you hooked in this kind of cycle. Because there's a degree of comfort, and it's kind of like your comfort zone, because maybe that's what has been happening in a lot of different relationships for you. To be called to like emotionally unavailable people. What about the Seven of Pentacles, please? I want to clarify for the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I guess we're getting these two. We have the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Wands in reverse. This is so interesting because it's cards that came out in another reading too. There's this resilience, and there's this again, I'm getting this feeling of narrow-mindedness and kind of like taking control through your thoughts. And you might be I'm having a very hard time vocalizing and voicing what it is that I want to say, which makes me feel like you also kind of experience that. There might be, definitely it might be significant of like or indicative of difficulty of communication between the two of you, or like absence of communication between the two of you. But there's also this degree of not being necessarily very experienced. Like you might have just been raised without being taught how to express your emotions in a positive and empowering, productive way. There's this feeling of lashing out, of letting things be bottled up, because you're always rationalizing your feelings rather than feeling them and listening to what they have to tell you. You're kind of like rationalizing, and your way of escaping your own emotions and your own anxieties and your own fears and your own sadness and your own pain is by rationalizing them. You feel like you have control over your emotions by thinking about your emotions, and by kind of deciding like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I feel this way because this happened and I shouldn't, therefore I choose to feel this way. But it doesn't, you might have noticed that it doesn't exactly work like that, because you keep going back into the loop, and the same things keep happening within you and without you. Like not much change is happening with this Death card in reverse. There's not a lot of change. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of reminiscing about the past, and you're not scared of feeling the beautiful feelings, like the love that you have for this person and the appreciation and the beautiful memories that you have with this person. But there's definitely this degree of like, oh, I should not feel, or you're feeling frustrated at your person for feeling anxious. If they're fearful, if they're not with their heart open, you might be frustrated at them because they are in that state. You're like, why can't you open up to me? Why can't you open up to me? But you don't realize that by embodying that very energy, by being frustrated at your person for not being able to open up to you, you're basically just rejecting them. You feel rejected, but you're also rejecting your person. That's what you're manifesting for yourself. And how that works is you're basically making your person feel like, and you're literally telling them, I'm not okay with how you are right now. And let me tell you something. It's okay if you want someone, if you want a partner, if you want people around you who are emotionally expressive and who are just expressive in general, who are open about their emotions, who are comfortable with their emotions, who are conscious about their emotions. That's completely fine. But why do you need this specific person to do that for you? Why do you need this person? Do you truly need this person to do that for you? Why aren't they worthy of your love and unconditional love and affection just as they are? They're struggling. They're clearly struggling, and you're clearly struggling as well. I feel like you might be pushing this person away more than you realize, by kind of expecting them to be somewhere that they're not, and that truthfully you are also not yet at that point. It's like you're expecting this person to be showing up in a very, very high vibe, very controlled, very, very confident type of way, and very self-aware type of way, while you yourself aren't even showing up in that energy, which is not a problem. It's not a negative thing. We're all just on our journey. And I know these messages might sound a little harsh, but I mean, you don't have to sit through it if you don't like it. But this is really what is coming through for you. You're really expecting this person to be at a level, like it's almost like you're expecting this person to show up in a perfect way, like in the perfect exact way which you want them to show up, while you're not even doing that yourself. Like you might get frustrated or upset at them, but then you want this person to not get frustrated or upset at you. Like you want them to be patient with you while you're very impatient with them, type of energy. What about this King of Cups and the Six of Cups? I feel like I want one clarifier for this situation right here. I feel like you guys might be very, oh, we got two cards anyways. You guys might be very fond very gentle and sweet and loving when it comes to to memories that you have with this person. Like you can be very loving in those scenarios, but when it comes to the practical situation in which you're like talking to them, or like in which you're texting to them with them, or like when you were, if you guys are not in contact right now, it's just really hard for you to be in that type of loving type of energy. We have the Seven of Swords and we have the Six of Wands in reverse. This is so interesting. It's like this person feels like you want something from them that they can't give, which is very accurate. There is a degree of wanting some, like it's kind of like this energy of entitlement that is coming from potentially you. Again, if you don't like these messages, then please just click off. There are people who are really open. Like, don't shoot the messenger either. This is not my thoughts. This is just what is coming through with the cards. But there's definitely this level of, and by the way, these messages are all given to you. First of all, this is probably nothing new for you. Like your guides or whatever it is, like other readings. Oh, that's another thing. You might have been relentlessly watching readings over and over and over again and asking about this person, and perhaps even getting private readings, or just like having your friends read your cards, you're like you yourself reading cards about the situation, this person, and you might have always gotten the same answers. And even if you ask like about like, oh, but what is the future going to be like, and you never really got, it's like you got answers up until a point, but besides that you weren't really getting answers about. And that's because the after isn't really, there is no after that is different than this right moment. So this is still what you're manifesting right now, and the after is right now how it looks right now is still the same, because there needs to be some type of transformation within you personally watching this and within this other person. But of course, you're watching this reading and you're the one receiving the messages right now. There needs to be inner switches in the both of you before you guys can come together. There's this level of, there's this degree of entitlement of like, I deserve your patience, your compassion, your unconditional acceptance. And this person kind of feels this, they feel this to a certain degree, and they feel you being kind of, I'm getting the word needy, and you probably hate hearing this, and I don't like that word either, because I don't personally believe in, it's really frustrating energy. And there's, the truth is that there is some things about yourself that you're not looking at, and that you're kind of like only looking at what this person is doing wrong without really owning up to your own emotions and owning up to your own responsibility. And there's also perhaps a degree of pretending that everything is fine while it's not. I just saw the Magician card when I cut the deck. And we have the Tower in reverse. Yeah, you're not really letting this situation go while it's clearly out of reach right now. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, there's a lot of cards. You're kind of not letting this, it's one of those situations in which like you can't fully be together, like you can't fully show up for each other on both sides, but you also can't let go of one another. So perhaps it definitely might be the case that sometimes you're like maybe liking each other's posts, or like just exchanging very short messages with each other. So yeah, that is kind of all I'm getting. Give me a few seconds to see if anything else needs to come through. Yeah, again, with this card that you chose at the beginning, that is all about the rose blooming regardless of who passes by, and regardless of whether this or that bee chooses them to impollinate, to go like feed themselves and get impollinated, or whatever that works, however that works. It's all about, you need to take care of yourself and embody your own truest energy and focus on your own inner growth. And I know that is so frustrating when all that you want right now is being with this person. But the thing is, you yourself, if you look at the energy in which you yourself are right now, it wouldn't be a very pretty, healthy, balanced relationship. You want this balance and unity with this person. First of all, you need to find a degree of balance and unity, or like at least an idea of what that looks like for you personally. You can't, if you are imbalanced yourself, you are going to bring this imbalance within the connection once you, like, every time that we connect with someone, both people bring within the connection the energy that they are already embodying by themselves. So if you want a healthy relationship, you need to be healthy within yourself first, like in terms of like, you know, psychological management and emotional health and emotional balance and well-being. So if you look at how you are yourself right now and how your energy right now is towards this person, it's not that if you have a ton of anxiety right now and a ton of insecurities right now, if you come together with this person, it would all disappear. No, that would still stay, and you would literally just like wash over this connection, wash over this person with those exact feelings. This being with this person, coming together with this person is not your end goal, and it shouldn't be your end goal. And it's not going to fix your anxiety or your lack of self-confidence or your insecurities. You need to be doing that with yourself. Like you need to be two whole people coming together and creating something that's bigger than the two of you. You can't really create a balanced unity between two people who are unbalanced within themselves. That being said, I feel like that was everything. I'm going to pull some advice cards for you, pile 3, specifically for you watching this. I feel like this pile specifically was more directed to you, while the other 2 piles were a little bit more about the connection in general. But let's see what we have here. Advice for pile 3, please. What advice? Okay. Cast a circle. Healthy boundaries are crucial for growth. This means the first thing that I got was like respect this person's boundaries. If this person doesn't want to be closely involved with you, then why would you want to be close? First of all, why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? First question. Second question, if they're unsure, let them have that energy. Like they don't have to choose. First of all, if they're not choosing you fully, then that's the truth. It just means that they're not choosing you. You need to respect this person's boundaries, and you need to have healthy boundaries of your own. There's another message that needs to come through with this card. If this person for those of you who for whom it's the case that this person took distance from you, respect that boundary first of all for self-respect, for respect of yourself, for not like wanting to kind of pushing your own energy onto someone who doesn't want it at the moment, and also just respect this person, like respect and value their needs, because that is an important transformation probably for you, is to respect this person where they're at. It's not needing them to be somewhere that they're not at, because it's not up to you. Like you can't change that for someone. We have manifestation. What you seek is seeking you. Exactly. So this is definitely a message that this person does indeed to a degree still kind of want you to. That's the kind of vibe that I just got. That's the thing that I heard. I want you to. But again, you both are not ready to construct a healthy, beautiful, balanced connection with each other. That's just how things are right now, and you need to be growing on your own individual paths before they can cross. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take these 2. Let me see if we're still rolling. Yes, we are. Very good. So we have trust. The universe has a plan for you. Exactly. So trust. That's the card. Trust what is happening and just keep focusing on your own path and your own journey, and let that tower crumble if it needs to crumble. Let those changes happen, and just trust that everything is happening for a reason. Isis, cast spells, protect, heal. There's a little scorpion on here, and oh, the scorpion is literally on like the solar plexus, so there might be a lot of solar plexus healing to be done for you watching this. I want to take one more, and then we can move on to spirit animals. What's more advice for pile 3 about this connection, please? So this card, Sekhmet, courage, truth, shadow work. Yeah, shadow work. There's definitely if you are into that kind of thing, I'm an advocate of not everyone should be doing shadow work as much as not everyone should be doing psychedelics, and not everyone should be doing anything at all. To each its own. But yeah, if you're into that type of stuff, then definitely keep doing it, I want to say. And if you are interested, I feel like some of you will not be very familiar with what shadow work is, and that's completely fine. If you feel called to explore that a little more, then you can look up meditations, you can look up information about shadow work. definitely that might be a little nudge that there's a lot of things to be looked at within yourself. This is like hematite is a very, very, very significant stone for shadow work. Every stone that is black, like you might obsidian, you might want to invest in obsidian. It's interesting because smoky quartz is a very high vibrational, like high chakra type of stone, but it's also all about the grayness and the blackness within it. It's like embracing the darkness that exists within light, and kind of finding this balance between the light and the dark, and acknowledging the darkness as well, and not only not just love and light, let's put it that way. What spirit animals are relevant for pile 3 right now, and what messages do they have to bring, please? Spirit animals for pile 3, please. Spirit animals. So we have the Swan, Grace. This card always gives me so much Libra vibe. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Exactly. I'm thinking about a quote is like, don't do what is popular, do what is right. Don't do what others expect of you, do what is right. Like truly follow your own inner guidance system. There's definitely this call to find your boundaries. I feel like you need to find what your boundaries are. Find what it is, how it is that you want to live connections, and how you want to, what it is that you want and what it is that you like and value. Bison, abundance. This card obviously reminds me of Taurus. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life, fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. So keeping a gratitude journal, meditating and truly embodying the energy of gratitude. Perhaps focus on some things that you're grateful for about this person. Find the beautiful things about this person and the beautiful things about this connection, and the beautiful things that this connection has brought you and has taught you in one way or another, rather than only focusing on, oh, this person is distant, oh, this person is not showing up, oh, this person is doing this wrong, is doing this wrong, is doing this wrong. Try to focus on the beauty. That's for sure a strong message that is coming through for you right now. What else? What other animals are relevant for a pile? We have this one, which is that so much purple, so beautiful. Unicorn, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen world. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. See, there's so much about beauty. Listen to the spirits of light, abandon the darkness, go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. See, okay, so there is this thing about like, while you go into the darkness, because I just said like embrace the darkness or something like along those lines, look at your darkness. And usually what we do by looking at the darkness and by going into the darkness, by becoming aware of the shadow and the darkness, we literally turn it into light. Like we shed light onto the darkness. It's not dark anymore. It's not shadow anymore once we look at it. Does that make sense? It's like integrating the darkness, not allowing it to be blinding and darkening anymore. It's just like about integrating and healing and bringing light into it. So I feel like that I needed to go a little bit more in depth about. What other, butterflies might be? Butterflies are a symbol of rebirth. So we have, look at this shit. Didn't we talk about birds being messengers in the first section? So we have hawk, messenger, spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision, third eye, to see the signs. Focus on your priorities and eliminate distractions. Wasn't I talking a lot about distractions earlier? You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. There's a lot about so much light potential. And you might be just right now in a very kind of dark space because of this connection, like because of what it triggered within you. Make the triggers your focus, not this person. Make the triggers, make healing those triggers out of self-love and not out of desperation, not out of self-hatred, out of self-love. Go and heal these triggers. We have the cow with independent. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. How many more messages do you need about that? You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. Literally, I said something along the lines of don't do what everyone else is doing. Just do what is right for you. On the back of the deck, we have the Cougar. I have no idea. This is a feline. Assertive. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. you know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. So if there's something like a course or a meditation or a special medicine or something like that that has been calling you and you've kind of been putting it off because you're like, maybe I shouldn't. Listen to your intuition. Whatever it has been telling you, listen to that intuition, because it has something so important to tell you, and Spirit has been reaching out to you, and possibly there was some clues and things in here that spoke to you. Listen, tune in. Pile 3, I was literally done talking and the camera stopped recording. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it because I don't want it to stop again, and I don't understand why, because my Italian self comes out. I have storage in my phone. I don't understand. It's Mercury retrograde. I'm just gonna blame it on that. But pile 3, thank you so much. That was all that I had for you. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I hope that you found some messages that you were needing at this time, and definitely feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know how this resonated. As per usual, it means so much to me to know how my readings land on the other side of the screen, and feel free to leave a like and subscribe. That really helps with the algorithm. And thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.